Hello everybody, Beastie here with another video, and we are going to do our Week 8 redo predictions, but first let's go back to Week 7 and see how much I got right. 1-0 with the Chiefs, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 right off the start, 5-0. I did get that one wrong, the Bucs played a good game, 5-1, 6-1. I got that one wrong and this one wrong. So I do go 6-3. And I'm really not that mad over the Jets one because that was an upset game that I tried to predict and it didn't work out. But 6-3, 7-3, 8-3, 9-3, 10-3, 11-3. I got 3 wrong, 11 right last week. So hopefully I can get that consistency again. And remember, I did go back last week to I did Week 8 as well, because in case you guys had brackets to do or something. So, but now I am going to do my Week 8 picks. For sure, this is my more educated Week 8 picks, and I'm going to quickly skim through Week 9 picks in case I don't get to it in time for like a Thursday night game when people usually have to turn in their brackets. But right here, we have Patriots, Bills. These first 3 actually that you see I'm going to keep. Bills offense keep up with anything. Indianapolis Colts, one of the worst defenses in the league, and they got crushed 37-5. Broncos, Chiefs. Broncos love the defense last week, but you versed maybe the second worst offense in the league behind the Bills. So doing it against one of the best offenses in the league is not the same, and you guys got smoked the first time. Well, I can't really actually say smoked, 27-23, but the Chiefs, I think, are even better now than you were last time, but I think you guys are a little bit better too. I still think the Chiefs are better. Then we have Colts and Raiders. Raiders, I keep saying worst offense in the league, and I said worst, maybe worst offense in the league for Bills. Raiders might be the worst team in the league, and I'm going to give the Colts another win. Andrew Luck, I think he's being so underappreciated right now, and it's just because the Colts aren't doing good. I mean, if you talk to individuals, they'll say Andrew Luck's a really good quarterback. But you really go and you look down to what he's doing this season, it is absolutely phenomenal. And he is going to keep lighting it up. I think I was talking to my friend today in school, and I think we looked it up, and I think he had 20 touchdowns already. The kid's insane. I mean, Andrew Luck is one of the best in the game, and if you look at it, he's been putting up in the 30 points a game like every week, even the ones they've lost because their defense allowed more than what their offense got, and what their offense got was a lot of points. So it is very impressive to see what Andrew Luck has done, and I think they're going to go in there and beat the Raiders, especially because the Raiders just got rid of Amari Cooper. Browns, Steelers. This is what I'm going to switch. Browns, you lost a lot of confidence in me when you went and lost to the Buccaneers. And if you think you guys are going to lose to the Buccaneers and then think I'm going to pick you to beat the Steelers, you guys are insane. I will go Steelers. Now, I went with a risky pick last time, picking Texans over Dolphins. But this week, I just don't think it's risky. I think Texans are a safe pick playing in Houston. I think Houston is a safer pick than Miami, and I also think they're going to win. Well, we'll see. For me, within 4 hours, we'll see. But that should be a good game by any means, but I think the Texans will pull it out. Bears-Jets, I think the Bears are still a really good team. They held right in there with the Patriots last week, lost by 1 yard. Because I bet you guys were thinking I was going to say 1 point. No, they lost by 7, but they lost by a yard. They had to throw a Hail Mary up for the game winner, and they completed the catch, but they caught it at the 1 yard line and couldn't get in the end zone. So they were neck and neck with the Patriots. A few special team errors, and that game would be different. They would have beat the Patriots if they didn't allow a 95-yard kick return for a touchdown and a blocked punt that went for a touchdown. If those two things didn't happen, the Bears win that game by a touchdown. I think the Bears are a very good team in this league still, even though they lost the last 2 weeks. Now you have the Bengals, Buccaneers. it's getting harder for me because, they got smacked by the Chiefs. That wasn't even close. But I still think they're better than the Buccaneers. So I'm still going to stick with the Bengals here. But, they got smacked by the Chiefs. They need to figure something out. I get it. I think they're still a really good team. I think the Chiefs are that much better than the Bengals. And I think the Bengals might be are still an easy playoff contender. And that, I think, that just shows how good the Chiefs are, or maybe it's going to end up showing how bad the Bengals are. I think we'll figure out how legit the Bengals are after this week, or maybe we might figure out how legit the Bucs are going on. Panthers, Ravens. Oh my God, this is going to be probably the best game of the week. Probably not the most exciting game of the week. Right now, I think Chiefs and Dolphins is even more exciting, and I think Texans, Dolphins, Chiefs, and Broncos are more exciting than this one. This one's going to be such a good defensive game. You have one of the best offenses in the league go to Baltimore last week. One of the best offenses go to Baltimore, and they struggled. They figured out enough to pull out the win and beat Baltimore, but it was a struggle. They won in the final minutes, and Carolina, they had a tough game the entire game last week until the fourth quarter. They were losing 17-0, and then they found a way to pull off the win, 21-17 in Philly. But I don't think if the Eagles' defense shut them down for 3 quarters, I think the Ravens can do it for 4. So I'm also going to switch this pick. I'm going to pick the Ravens over Carolina. Now, Jaguars, they have lost bad 2 or 3 weeks in a row now. And it's not looking bright for them anymore. But yet, it's also not looking bright for the Eagles. If you're winning 17-0 in your home building and you end up losing the game, that's really a Super Bowl hangover. And a lot of people were telling me before that they were going to get it week 1 against the Falcons. I didn't think so. Obviously, if you look back, I picked the Eagles to win that week, and they did. But I also thought they were going to be a really good team coming into the season. They were going to win a lot of games. I thought they had a tough schedule, so I thought they would go out in 10-6, but they're looking worse than a 10-6 record right now. And I am going to stick with the Jaguars. I think they're going to hopefully get it together. Hopefully, their team has been struggling. They've been getting a lot of arguments in the locker room and stuff. So hopefully this trip to London brings their team together, and hopefully they can pull out a win in London against Philadelphia. We have the 49ers now at Arizona. Arizona struggled last week, and 49ers looked amazing. And the Cardinals pulled out the win in San Francisco's stadium. So I think this is a revenge game for the 49ers. And Beathard looked really good against probably a bad Packers defense. He looked good. 33-30, phenomenal game. But do I think it's enough to beat the Cardinals' defense? I think it is. I think the 49ers are going to go in there and get some revenge. I think they're going to go win that division game back. And, yeah, I'm going to go 49ers over the Cardinals. Redskins over Giants. I'm going to keep it self-explanatory. Giants can't get a win. Lions, Seahawks. This is tough. I think the Seahawks are a very underrated team. I think the Seahawks are very good. And I think they can easily pull out easily get a winning record by the end of the season. I think they could easily go over 500. I don't know if they can compete to go to the playoffs, but they can compete to get a 9-7 record. And the Lions, though, they're on a hot streak right now, and they are winning games with confidence. Kerryon Johnson is adding a whole new element to this football team, and that's why I'm going to keep the Lions. If it wasn't for Kerryon Johnson, I would go with an upset and pick Seattle. But Kerryon Johnson is an animal, and he is leading this team to victory. Rams, Packers. I'm going to pick the Rams. I think it's going to be self-explanatory again. But wait 1 second. 49ers, they got daddy smacked by the Rams last week. But yet, it's the Rams, one of the best teams, and that's another reason why I think they're going to come back. Beathard looked really good against the Packers, but then he got smacked by the Rams. But I don't think the Cardinals are anything like the Rams. And I think their defense can keep their offense on the field. I think the 49ers defense will. Arizona's defense will get tired because I think their offense is going to be off the field very quickly. So I think 49ers are going to have control of possession. So either way, even though they got smacked last week, going Cardinals. But Rams, Packers, for obvious reasons. If you can't stop C.J. Beathard and the 49ers, what makes you think you can stop Jared Goff in that high-powered offense? The answer is they can't. If you can't stop that offense, even if you're a really good defense, I still don't think you could stop this offense. I think this offense can easily score 30 points a game from here on out versus some really good teams. I'm going to go Rams in this one. Then the last one, Saints versus the Vikings. This is going to be a good game. The Saints are remembering the Minneapolis miracle, and they're coming in for revenge, and I think they're going to get their revenge. So that pick's not changing. And if you play the best defense in the league last week and you could still find a way to pull out a win 24-23, I think you could pull out a win against the Vikings. I think this is going to be a pretty big shootout game. I mean, Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs versus Drew Brees, Kamara, Thomas, and Ingram. That's going to be the battle going into that Sunday. And that's my picks for this week. Hopefully I'm even more accurate in next week. And now, like I said, real quick, just in case I don't get to them before you guys have to go and do stuff, I am going to quickly do these picks and see if these are hard or not. Texans will be able to, I think, beat the Broncos' high-powered defense. No, you know what? This one is the one that might change depending on this week. But right now, 2 weeks in advance, I'm going to go Broncos, Chiefs. I'm going to go an upset here and go Jets. I think I'm going to go Ravens again. 49ers, Bears, Cowboys, Patriots, Chargers, Panthers, Redskins, Vikings. God, that one's going to be a good one. Rams facing the Saints. Ooh, you got two juggernaut offenses going head-to-head. So many weapons on both sides. Too much for them to handle. But if there's any team that I think can slow down the Rams this entire season, this includes the Chiefs in Week 11. I think the only team that has a shot at stopping the Rams this season is the Saints. So me saying that, I'm going to go with the Saints for now. But if they have an ugly match against the Packers, that is quickly going to go to the Rams pick. That's why I do 2 games in 2 weeks in advance. So, like I said, but that's why I do another one next week, going back to this week. To have a more clear understanding of what's going to happen in these games. But really good games by some teams last week. Let's go to the AFC. 1 will be the Chiefs still. 2 would still be the Patriots. 3 would be the Ravens. 4 would be the Texans. 5 would be the Chargers. 6 would be the Bengals. NFC. Bears would be leading the division. 1 would be Rams. 2 would be Saints. 3 would be Redskins. 4 would be Bears, 5 would be Panthers, 6 would be Vikings. But let's quickly try to take out Week 9. I can remember these picks. Don't you worry about them. And remember, they were there. And like I said, I could redo them quickly. But without this week, just doing my more confident picks, I have Saints are still at 2, Panthers are at 6, Rams are 8-0, or Redskins still 3. Nothing. Actually, yes, something did change. Lions would be winning the division and be in the playoffs. That would be the biggest switch. And in the AFC, the Ravens wouldn't even be in. It would be the Steelers. Texans are still in. Patriots, Chiefs, and Chargers are all still in. Now, let me quickly go back to these. Boom, boom. Like I said, I just want to quickly slam through these things again for you guys real quick. Remember, these picks don't have a lot of explaining yet, but they will more next week. And like you saw this week, some of them will change. Not all the week 8 showed up. And I'm gonna quickly go over my 5 best teams. Who I think the 5 best teams are in the league. And number 5. Well, I gotta think of actually those teams real quick. I'm looking through. I think this is a statement. You guys might not agree with me. But right now, I think 5 is the Panthers that you're seeing right here beating the Buccaneers in Week 9, which probably won't change. No matter how ugly the Panthers look, and probably no matter how good the Bucs look. I think the Panthers are one of the best teams in the NFL, and you know you're a great team when you can become so much adversity, down by 17 points. Championship teams win those games, and the Panthers just won that game last week. I think they're the 5th best team in the NFL. 4th best team in the NFL is the Chiefs. It's hard. You watch a lot of power rankings, and they put the Saints in front of They put the Chiefs in front of the Saints. I'm putting the Saints in front of the Chiefs, and the Saints are going to be a 3. I feel like even though both defenses are okay and both offenses are really good, I feel more comfortable in the Saints. I mean, I think they're both really even teams. They both have great coaches. They both have great quarterbacks right now. They both have great running backs, a great wide receiver, and mediocre defenses. I mean, both teams are loaded, but Sean Payton has won a championship. They've won a Super Bowl. Chiefs, Andy Reid has not at least with this organization. So I am going to go Saints at 3, and like I said, right now, if I seen them go in a head-to-head matchup, I'd feel more comfortable with the Saints coming out and winning that game. That's why I'm picking Saints over the Chiefs, and at 2 is going to be the Patriots, and 1, the Rams. I don't think anyone's slowing down the Rams, maybe besides the Saints, and maybe besides the Chiefs, but I think the Saints have a better shot. And that's my Week 8 redo predictions, and in case you need some you need to pick teams before next Thursday, I also have Week 9 in here as well. Hopefully you enjoyed the picks, and see y'all next time. Peace out, y'all.